two pieces of it. There's kind of a mindset piece, and that's where the power of my I am comes in. And then the other piece of it is, we get confident by demonstrating courage, and courage, it says, I know what to do, but doing it scares me. I know what to say, but doing it scares me. And but courage says, I'm going to not allow my fear to stop me from practicing this script or whatever. And that, to the degree that I do that, one of the rewards, if you will, of that demonstration is confidence. So to the degree that we practice courage, we're rewarded with confidence.
Hi, welcome back to Connect Through Beauty. Oh, I'm so excited about this one too. Every single podcast that we do has just been so nice, and I always walk away with something, and I love that. So I hope that you guys are really enjoying these podcasts just like I am. And today we have another episode with Michael Cole. I love this because we are definitely diving into the power of what we say to ourselves on a daily basis. So think about that. I want you to think about those thoughts as you are listening to this episode. So, what are you telling yourself daily? Are you telling yourself positive things? Or are you telling yourself that you're not good enough? We really underestimate what mindset means. And gosh, I love talking about your mindset because it's so powerful. And if we can just shift our thoughts a little bit, then, gosh, it will do so much for us and so much for everyone else around you. So listen in, keep listening. My goodness, this is so good. And keep staying connected.
Well, thank you, Ashley, for inviting me. I always enjoy these conversations with you. There's something very inspiring. So, and I love the title of, our podcast, Building Courage and Competence with the 3R's. Whether it's retail, rebook, referral, we all know that regardless of your role in a salon or a spa, the 3R's really is what drives your business, drives your income. So, and it's a struggle depending on who we are. So what a great conversation. What I'd like to really talk about in this podcast with regard to courage and confidence, there's two parts to how I coach. One's a mindset part, and the other is really more of taking action part. So let's start with the mindset.
Love it.
And one of the principles that I talk about whenever I'm, coaching service providers to strengthen mindset is an idea or a principle that I call the power of I am. And sometimes when I talk about it as an actual law, the law of I am. And I always house it in a story. And it's a story that it comes out of my experience when I was getting started behind the chair. But in that story, everybody finds their story. So, once upon a time, forever ago, when I really started building clientele and kind of learning about, from being a Jedi at hair to how do you communicate with your clients, to measuring what you treasure, to asking for retail. I mean, it was so much that I got overwhelmed. And I found myself either saying to myself or other people, you know what, this is just too much. It's too much for me. I'm not focused enough to learn this. I'm not skillful enough. I'm not confident enough. So I would always preface something with, I am not, ...
Right.
Fill in the blanks. And really, and I find that that's common language when you're getting started, because it looks like you're almost like trying to take a drink off of a fire hydrant, right?
Right.
It's just,
Right.
there's just a lot to it.
Yeah.
And then I remember having one of the first many conversations with my coach around this idea. He called it the power of
Mm.
I am, or the principle, or the law of I am. And he would say, I remember the first, something to the effect that, Michael, I can tell by your language that you've yet to be informed of probably one of the most powerful and important laws of your life,
Mm.
and that this law governs your life, my life, our life, and dictates to a degree whether it's how prosperous we are, how happy we are. And I call that law, we call that law the law of I am.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
again, all I need to do, Michael, is listen to your language. It sounds like you're unaware and uninformed about this law, and you've been unconsciously and unintentionally using it incorrectly, and
Right.
it's sabotaging you. And then he said, here's how it works.
Okay.
Basically, it's a simple law. Whatever we say after I am is what we become.
Oh.
And that, like, stopped me. It's like, wait a minute, it was one of those, no, what? Say
Yeah.
that again, right? Whatever we say after I am, we tend to become more of that. And he went on to say that two of the most important words in our language
Mm.
is I am, because what we say after that kind of sort of becomes our life.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, listen to what you just said, because you're using that law, whether you know it or not. You always preface it with I am not. I'm not enough, whether it's skillful enough, courageous enough, competent enough, focused enough,
Yeah.
and so no wonder why you're stuck.
Sure.
Your I am language isn't, it's self-defeating. So, and this was the big one, is that here's the truth, Michael. Whether you know it or not, you have more than enough of whatever it's going to take inside of you right now to become whatever you want to call that, a Jedi, a
Mm.
top 20 successful. You have that. And if you don't believe that, consider borrowing my belief about that in you until you can have that belief yourself. I'll loan my belief, but let's go on the
So good.
supposition that you have that potential. So number one, you from now on, I want you to become aware of how you're using I am. He called it your I am language,
Mm.
and change it, begin to change it. And maybe for starters, why not adopt a simple, safe I am? You could say, I'm learning to be
Mm.
a Jedi. I'm learning to be a Jedi at the law of I am, or I'm learning to master I am. And that's so much, that's got so much more potential to empower, using the law correctly than I am not. And
Absolutely.
so that was so simple.
Mm.
And I started practicing that. And like he said, this law could revolutionize your life. And I found that out to be the case. And so that's, in all of my teaching, somewhere you're going to find, whether it's the power of I am, the law of I am, and I state the power is the power that's in me, that's the power that's in you, me, we, that's greater than what we are, that waits on us to wake up to its presence, its potential, so that it can begin to work for us by coming through us. And we call that power the power of I am.
Mm. I
So,
love it.
we could do the whole podcast and then some just on that idea. But
Absolutely.
what I think about, my friends at Lords and Ladies, is begin to set an intention for yourself that I really do want to become conscious of my I am language. Maybe even work a little bit with my coach on, catching myself when when I've got a knot in my I am, and what would be some I am statements that you could get behind and really get behind. My favorite is always, I'm learning to become a Jedi. that
Yeah,
I've been using that for, many, many, many moons. So does that make sense?
it does. Oh, I no, I love it. I just really started using affirmations
Yes.
myself, and my screensaver is I am confident, successful, and happy. And I have that on my screensaver and I keep looking at it every day. And I think when you start manifesting the things that you don't have, but the things that you see yourself having, and I think that's like where you're going with this. And when I love the whole just shift your mind a little bit and say something very simple. I am learning. And I love that. Just try to shift and not say I am not. It's
Yeah.
so easy to say something negative about yourself or start to say something negative about yourself because it's scary to be positive sometimes.
Oh, yeah, and to your point, we could say, watching whether it's our narrative, our self-talk, whether these are thoughts that we have in our head, or when we speak about that with other people, that we're invoking that law,
Mm,
whether we're conscious of it or not, and to the degree that we wake up to that law and use it with greater intentionality in ways that are going to expand the prosperity in our life rather than limit us. It's just amazing what you can do. And I love your you call it an affirmation. I'm confident, successful, and happy. And basically, whenever you put an I am in front of your intention, so your intention is I want to be confident, successful, and happy. When
hmm.
I put an I am in front of it, I'm affirming that.
Yeah.
That's where the word affirmation comes in, is, you're putting I am in front of a positive intention, and, boom goes the dynamite.
Yeah. So that's so true. I mean, I never really looked at it that way. Like when you are saying those things, you're actually telling yourself that you are those things. Like I love that. It's such a simple concept, but
I know it.
just yeah.
Well, the essence of, genius, if you will, or the essence of an ingenious idea, is its simplicity. It's so
Mm,
simple and profound, it almost insults our intelligence. It's like, oh my God,
yeah.
that is so simple. I don't need. It's just being more, name, claim, and tame my, I am language that's self-sabotaging me, and be more mindful of using I am language that's going to, explode my potential rather than sabotage it.
Yeah.
Another way of restating that is, with our words, we make our world.
Mm,
So being more conscious of how we use, sometimes people would call it the law of word rather than
yeah.
the law of I. And to me, what we call it is immaterial. It's beginning
Sure.
to practice that principle, and that will really, not only invoke success, but it accelerates it. It motivates us. So
Yeah.
much about the mindset of how to be more courageous and confident with the 3 R's. I'm hopeful that my friends at Lords and Ladies can see the connection between, oh my God, if I use I am correctly, that's going to really foster more courage and confidence to take the actions I need to build the 3 R's.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. So, you said to start out simply by just saying, I am learning. What I love that because you're giving someone the tool that doesn't, maybe just doesn't feel like they can even say that out loud to themselves. So, how do you even hold yourself? How would someone like that in that mindset hold themselves accountable to do that every day? Like what kind of things what should they be doing each day to practice that?
Well, I think for starters, like you said, and basic is, I want to, don't think it, ink it. I want to write down how I can more correct, some correct and inspiring and personalized I am affirmations that inspire me. And like you said, whether you put it on your mobile or put it on post-it notes, And, to the degree that we see it, we be it.
Yeah.
And we're speaking the truth out loud. So whenever I can say it, and when I say out loud, it could be to yourself.
Sure.
But I want my ears to hear the truth that I'm speaking,
Mm.
because what my ears hear, when my eyes read truth and my ears, hear what my mouth speaks. So I read truth, I speak what I am reading, my ears hear what I'm saying, my heart begins to feel and
Mm.
believe what my ears are hearing, and before you know it, I'm in that flow.
Yeah.
I'm in that flow. So it's simple, and I think it's worth a minute or two on the front end of each day to just kind of remember again that this is something I want to unlearn, self-limiting I am language, and really begin to practice something that's more expansive.
Yeah.
Then that on ramps us to the second idea.
Right.
And that second idea is, the confidence, the courage and the competence to begin to engage my clients in conversations that involve retail
Mm.
or rebook or referral. And it's not, when stylists are struggling with that, 9 times out of 10, it's not because they don't know what to say.
Mm.
Because there are so many classes today at Lords and Ladies and some of the brands. And so if you're at a loss for script, there is so many different ways of engaging our clients,
Yeah.
of in retail, referral, and rebook conversations. So what I don't want to talk about on this podcast is that, because it's there.
Sure.
And if you go, I still don't have it. Well, then check in with your manager, your leader, because trust me, they've got 3-ring binders
This is
that are so the problem is I don't have the courage or
right.
the competence to use those scripts, or begin practicing the scripts, or begin getting skillful at the scripts.
Right.
Scripts. I'm scared. So let's talk about being more courageous and competent. And again, everything I teach is an obstacle once upon a time that was really blocking my own progress. And so forever ago, I was somebody that said, I struggle. I wouldn't call it courage. I called it confidence. I struggle with my confidence. I hope the day comes where I can be more confident about retail, or be more confident about rebook, referral, or even be more confident to begin learning color, whatever that was. I would always speak about it. And I need more confidence. And it was almost, I used to say tongue in cheek, I'm waiting
Mm.
for my confidence level to rise.
Ah.
And if you listen, you'll hear that. Or I'm working on my confidence. And it took one of those definable moments with my first coach to say, Michael,
Definitely.
confidence is the reward of courage.
Mm.
So we don't wait for confidence before we courageously begin learning something. We need to demonstrate courage, take courageous acts, and every time we do that, we get more confident in
Mm.
the act we're taking. It's as if to say, confidence is the reward of courage. And when he dropped that on me, I went, wait, what? It's like, what are you talking about? I didn't understand. I said, that's too deep for me. Like, you got to make
Yeah.
it simpler. And then he goes, okay, I'll make it simple. Courage is nothing more than the decision to not let fear
Mm.
stop you from taking an action.
Yeah.
And I said, well, what action are you talking about? And he brought me the scripts. Michael, you've got these scripts. We've role played them. We've talked about. I've even said, find your own voice and write this down. And you've got them all. But action is, you have an opportunity today or tomorrow. You're working on 2 or 3 clients to actually practice a script, but
Yeah.
you don't because it creeps you out. You feel it's scary. Courage says,
Yeah.
I'm not going to let fear stop me today from taking an action on one of these scripts. Now,
Wow.
whether that action works or not, this is not what this conversation's about. So
Mm.
you might say, I tried this, and this client says no. It's like, no, no, this is not what this conversation's about. It's did you or did you not disobey your fear and take this one courageous act? If the answer is yes, whether they said yes or no, the next time
Mm.
you take this, you use this script, because there's going to be a next time. You're going to have another opportunity. You will find that you're a little bit less frightened
I love.
about taking the action, and it's going to require a little bit less courage. And if you really look at it, that would only mean that you're a little bit more competent
Mm.
in using the script. And it's that to the degree you practice courage, you get a little bit confident, which means I'm a little bit less scared. And until you hit this tipping point where all of a sudden I'm not, it's not as scary anymore. And oh my God, there was like 2 or 3 people that actually said yes.
Yeah.
They said, they went, okay. Or they sent me a referral, or they set up their next appointment, and now this is the life process. This is how life works. You don't wait for confidence. You demonstrate courage, which is a decision to not let fear stop you from using a script. And when you do, you get confident. Oh my, that
Yeah.
revolutionized. So it was the combination of the power of I am and competence is the reward of courage. Those two were like rocket boosters for me,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so I use them in my coaching.
Oh yeah, I love this so much. Oh my goodness. Because you're so right. It's definitely courage. It's you have all of the tools around you all the time, and just picking them up and using them. And I'm saying this metaphorically, but when you do have the courage to pick it up and you're using it, just don't do it one time, right? Is what you're saying, which
Right.
I love that. It's a habit, it's a practice, it's a thing that you work at every day. And yes, it's hard in the beginning, but then you
Oh, yeah.
go.
Well, once you catch on and you've practiced courage enough where you literally become courageous.
Mm,
This is when I say you're becoming a warrior. What do you mean by warrior? Fear does not stop you as much as it used to.
yeah.
Why? Because you've become courageous. How did that happen? How did I become courageous? You started practicing taking courageous acts. What do you mean? You see the script? You did the script. And you were scared and you were nervous and you were shaking, but this time you didn't let that stop you,
Yeah.
and you didn't hide, because a lot of times fear doesn't look like fear. Fear masks itself in, I call them the id flid, the I don't feel like it day. So, I
I
don't feel like it day is id flid. I'm having an id flid.
love it.
So when somebody says, I just didn't feel like doing it, if you look at id flids and what's underneath id flids, I was scared.
Yeah.
And sometimes an id flid's going to stop us, and sometimes courage it's not like you have to be perfect at this all the time, but you get better at not allowing an id flid
Right.
to stop you from taking a courageous act.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm,
this will transform. I'm telling the people at Lords and Ladies, this is going to transform your life. This will bring you as close as you've ever come to a 6-figure W-2. And for some, you're close there now. It'll catapult you over the wall.
right. Absolutely. Because you're doing the things that not everybody does. You're doing the things that
Yes,
are
yeah,
hard. Yeah. I love
yeah,
that. And stretch yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my word for today.
I love it. You're amazing. You're just amazing. And you just keep coming out with these genius things, and I love it. And it's really just because you're so grounded in yourself and you are speaking from experience. And what better way
Yeah.
than that, you know?
Well, and I'm hoping my friends at Lords and Ladies, that, work, sir, take this to heart. I'm telling you, you mark my words, if people take this to heart in 3 months, 6 months, a year, at your next gathering, you're going to have people go, that podcast where that was my light bulb moment. I had my light bulb moment when I listened to the podcast on the law of I am and courage and competence, and it changed my mind, it changed my life, and people get
Mm,
very grateful. So stay tuned, more will be revealed. We'll see who has a light bulb moment.
I love it. Thank you so much, Michael.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're the best.
Anytime.
All right, we'll talk soon.
All right, see
All
you
right,
later.
bye. All right, guys, I hope that you really got something out of this one. And this week, I want you to really focus on what are you saying to yourself? And anytime something negative comes through and you're about to put yourself down, I really want you to say, I'm learning. I loved that. That was my favorite. I'm learning is so simple, right? But it's so true. We're all learning. We're all working on ourselves. So I just loved it so much, and I hope that you guys did too. Keep staying connected and have a fantastic day.